Top up time, beautiful day. Let's get to Randwick, Glenn Pollitt.
Yeah, looking forward to getting there, Mark. And yeah, perfect day. Scratching's the light on. It looks a good card.
Yeah, look, the only fly in the ointment could be if a 9-metre rail plays nasty. And the thing about the 9-metre rail is that because it's 1 metre past the crown or the Dallas's lucky lane 8, the tendency is for not to play nasty. But I do have the feeling that that it's going to play pretty fast, which could obviously suit on-pace runners. 2-year-old race, and Headliner is a headliner in the betting. It has been well tried into $6 best fixed. If we just have a look at our Betfair screen to see if there's any activity.
You put our toys up, Mark.
Yeah. So Ashima and Arthur Francis are sort of battling it out for favouritism there. It's sort of 5-2 a pair. A bit more matched on Ashima, and Headliner is thereabouts as the third pick there. Obviously, it's a key mounting yard race. I've got Jeff's pedigree assessments out to Goldies, which they're sort of an interesting bag of pedigrees. So the Goldies should certainly consult that and see what they can make of that, because he's got some interesting stuff to say about this race. And look, it's the race that Dawn Passage looked so good in 2 years ago, Glenn. So it's a fertile race for the autumn.
Yeah, he looks so good, and he went on to be. He's a good horse. Dawn Passage. He's a top horse actually. Still interested in the Shima, Mark, and don't worry about that barrier 19 next to its name, guys. It comes into 13.
H. Bowman on the second pick. I just Gord was tipping a lot of H. Bowman on the show last night or yesterday, but he has gone missing big time. So if you think about him, he's your stock standard, 15% strike rate, sort of minus 15% pot jockey. The last 6 months, he's had 176 rides, 18 wins, so he's down to 10% strike rate and minus 35% pot.
Wow.
And last 2 months, 80 rides, 6 wins, so it's striking at 7.5 now, and minus 55%.
Wow. So as predicted by us months ago, he's definitely not
post wings. He's he pulls out one here and there. He's going, oh look, it's sort of almost Glenn Boss-ish. Look, here I am. I'm still a top rider, but do you actually want to be on him day to day, ride to ride? Question is, the answer has to be no, surely.
The answer has to be no. You see it in the American golf tour. It's all the same thing everywhere. He lives down here in Coogee, probably got his home paid off and plenty of money, just pushes them around, blah, blah, blah. When they're young and keen, that's what you're after. Young and keen and haven't got a house deposit yet. That's who we want.
Yeah. On there.
Big and Latham's,
right. Trying to make their name.
Yeah.
He's made his name, and look.
Still a champion rider, but he's made his name, and he's hard. He was 260 in race 1 last night. It Canterbury number 1, and then bang.
Yep.
There it was in the run.
He did fall asleep at the 600 there. Oh, right.
Yeah.
And T. Berry just raced away from him.
So bet against him at Terra too, because he can pull out some beauties too. Champion rider, but punters should be wary.
All right, the Highway Mark 1 is Art Cadeau clear favourite, and 9,000 matched on the fair, so a lot of activity there, and around about the fixed odds price. $2.90 is best sports bet at the moment, and it's tight on the fair. The overnight firm was Water Dove into less than $4. It's $3.80 best fixed, but nothing happening on the fair. No one playing there. All the focus is on number 1.
All the focus is on number 1. It's top pick with me, and I think $2.90 is about its right price.
Yeah.
Will we get better?
I'd like to hope so, but maybe not. The second pick's got a bit of a query hanging over its head. The only thing that Gord mentioned, which seemed a smart narrative, was that he's got bigger fish to fry, perhaps Art Cadeau, and this is some sort of pipe opener, so not wound up, off a short break. The next race and the horse of interest here is Melick, which is a lot longer there on the fair than fixed were telling us. So it was 240 yesterday. It's now to 280. Fantini, a horse of interest that Gord made a good case for. Nothing doing on the fair, but into 7.5 fixed. You still get $9 with Bet365, which, as we know, can be a myth. Hard to have an account there that lets you on. And Cat Gully Red into $11. And that's been an overnight move up, but nothing happening on the fair at the moment. I suppose the first two races will guide this in terms of the style of horse you want to be on. And obviously the parade is important for number one as well, Glenn, because it's just a Masara horse off a long spell with just the one trial, and you certainly want to get your eyes on it, don't you?
Yep.
Race 3 is yet again at 1100, but it's our Saturday race where the face 9,000 matched and a good bit longer than the fixed odds at the moment. The mover in the race is Emanate, the horse that you expressed good opinion for yesterday. It's into $4.60 fixed. And I'm telling you, a horse we didn't mention at all on the show yesterday, a Mexican with Nash on board, sort of a lurker, and its creds didn't really appeal, but it's had some support fixed as well. But yeah, look, the face was a horse when he did resume in the race won by Angela Davies' horse. It had matchings galore. It seems to be one of those horses that polarizes opinion, and you get lots of layers and lots of backers. Smart horse, but still sitting there with one Gosford maiden win on debut.
Terrific run last start, so I suppose that's the reasoning behind the price. Looks at 2 opes to me, 2,992, but yeah, I get a bit itchy and scratchy taking 7 and 4 about horses that have had one win at Gosford.
Still, a rider of your one of your chosen riders, James Ennis Jr. Now here we go, Glenn. This has got to be the betting race of interest here, because we've already described on the show just how badly Snowdens are going. And they turned out that $1 zillion horse Mount Fuji, who raced like a camel last night, Rule of Law was $3.80 fixed yesterday, and it is into $2.40 best. That's smashed. Not that big a matching on the fair given the fixed odds move, but certainly there it is, sitting there at less than 6 to 4.
Wow.
Look, it does look to land on the lead here. It resumes off 2 fairly comprehensive provincial wins. There's not a lot of form in this race, but shit, given the way they're going, this
maybe they watched Turfees go yesterday, Canberra, who rocketing by beat, and then Turfees was off the map yesterday and eased out to last. So maybe they're just dismissing 4 as a chance. I know Gord mentioned it. I was a bit so-so about it, but
yeah, look, it had to win that race at an hour, and yes, it was impressive, but it's sort of got fringe form. And you know, we're looking at these 2 horses out of the fattest form race of late. Speak of the private eye race at Kenzo 3 weeks back, Super Effort, My Ruby, both coming back to 1100, but both wallers, and they're key. But I suppose the back in distance is an interesting move there. Anyway, parade important.
Interesting race. Can't wait to see this favourite. Geez, I'll be surprised if I like it. Well, you just can't
do you look
back
at the colours and they're reflected on the horse some way?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd drive out to a farm, watch horses, just walk around a paddock just to watch horses. I like it.
Right. Okay, we're away from the short courses now. 2,000 metres, and New Arrangement's been backed, Kiss the Bride's been backed, and California Longbow's been backed. So clearly that would suggest that Sacramento's on the blow. So into 350 New Arrangement, into 550 Kiss the Bride, and $10 best California Longbow. Activity on the fair is a touch light. So not much illumination there. You know, we've got all these horses coming out of the same lead up, 2, 3, 4, and 10. So very little DF. Accountability seems to be lost to us. And there's not much else to say. So,
well, the big riding change in number 3 is the reasons for the strong support.
Well, this is Waller's second preparation with him, and he spelled him in Queensland. came back and had a couple of unlucky runs, trapped off the track at Rose Hill, and then still waiting to get out in a mile at Randwick. And subsequent to that, his 2 runs have been awesome. So it's hard to argue with the way he's racing the arrangement, and that riding change. Despite the bravery of Sacramento the other day, the riding change is fat, and then you've got the riding change on Kiss the Bride, which looks cherry ripe as well. It's a really interesting race. Race 7 is 1,400 metres. Ho Hum Map. Maybe the result won't be Ho Hum. Obviously, we've got an interesting parade here in the import that hasn't trialled locally. It's had 2 jump outs down the straight at Flemington, which I can't read. So Ulysses is sitting up there as favouritism. Last start Saturday, winner leading all the way, looking to lead all the way again. Sausage has had some fixed odds support, but not reflected there on the fare. It is into $5.50 best.
Wow.
But, there's a bit of $7 there for the taking. Backmarker Bowman in a walking race. It's difficult. It's the sort of horse you'd imagine if you liked it, you'd wait to back it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. 2 and 10, the only 2 numbers there for me.
Anyway, the track, the way the track is playing will have an impact on this race. And obviously, as I mentioned, the parade on the mystery horse. Race 8 is our feature. And Quackerjack's had some support. It seems to be gone, Quackerjack. Didn't really, the 1,200 around Canterbury wouldn't have suited, but didn't do enough, I wouldn't have thought, and now has to sit outside Cradle Mountain. Bandersnatch remains our favourite, sitting there at 260. The fare's a good bit longer, 4,000 matched. Chat the second pick, there it is. And my horse order again is $6.
They're ABC here, the 3 favourites, and they will start ABC. That's how they'll start.
I was surprised that Gord was so keen on Bandersnatch yesterday.
Did you agree with my summation? A little bit of a milky?
And missed its chance last start.
I thought it missed its chance too.
But anyway, he makes an art form out of messing with our heads on these horses. We've perhaps got a slot.
Order again at $7 or $6.50 just looks like the bet to me.
Absolutely flew first up. Flew amazing. All right, the mile mares race, which should be a cracking betting race, and Salika has had good support here. It's maybe map related. She's third up into this race. Resumed at 13.50 at Rose Hill for the new stable, and was a horse of a touted horse, and then went to the terrible form race at Gosford, the Bell of the Turf. But in her defence, she's had a trial since to try and get away from that form. We've got people casting aspersions on the fact that Zing was PR'd, had perfect run last start. And then you've got the 1,500 metre lead up of Helga and Dame Curie and Vinciano, Straub and Bowery Breeze, and it's difficult to really get warm about that lead up. Brutally run, and most of the horses from the lead up came from the back in that race. And Vinciano did certainly overachieve, but she looks to have to be brutalised again as far as the pace is concerned. I suppose you'd like a fresh look at this come the second last. I'll be interested in what the mounting yard has to say about these mares that have walked around a bit in the sun. And
long day.
Long day. Might be a long day for you too, because that's the 9th and that's only the penultimate. So we come to the last, and Betcha Flying and Brutality had some support. Announced change of tactics on Brutality to be ridden closer. The map already had it racing midfield, so I presume that's just backing up the map. All-time legend, a horse, a favourite of great interest today. Trying to back up 88s, going up to the mile from gate 1. 270 is sitting there, top sport, and 4,000 matched on the fare. It's sort of as you were. It's pretty much what you expect, although I think you think that it's well placed, Glenn.
Yeah, I think 270 is a reasonable price for this horse. Clearly top pick. Brutality second pick with me.
what a reasonable price is $29 a week for a ton of content. Don't forget this Brisbane Mounting Yard Mail coming to you today. Obviously, Mounting Yard Mail from Randwick, all 10 races. You get my assessments, which have just gone out to Goldies. The Goldies have also had the hard copy, which is the written synopsis of yesterday's show. And they got the golden pedigrees for race 1 today, which looks a cracking 2-year-old race and some really interesting types in that. So you'd be mad not to actually try us out, because not only does it not cost $29 for the first 2 weeks, it's free without obligation. So if you haven't tried us, you'd be mad not to. And we'd certainly love to have you, because we're a passionate team of form analysts and punters and racing aficionados, and we'd love to see you part
There's
of
always something happening, Mark.
There is, and there's always something that you're coming up with. So look out on Monday's rant for a review of today's card, and who knows what to expect from the Glenster. And I can announce that Richard Freeman has tentatively agreed to come on our show at some stage. So look out for special guest Richard Freeman down the track.
Oh, what a beauty. That'd be great.
Meanwhile, let's get to Randwick and let's make a gala of this program. And otherwise, we'll see you on Monday.
See you later.